Discover the truth. Stay lying. Discover the truth. Oh, they lie. Better know who you are. Discover the truth. 'Cause the truth don't change. No, the truth don't change. It remains the same. Better know who you are. Discover the truth.
What's all this talk about being black and Indian? I'm half this, half that, you must be kidding. Original, we the first to do it. And all these other nations are just our children. Even the pale skin was made in our image. Read the book of Ruth and check out your lineage. It's the melanin that gives us a dark complexion. That's a gene, no color separation. The Willie Lynch let it work to perfection. 2000 something and y'all still guessing. Don't know your nationality or your family tree, 'cause you refuse to listen to the prophet Drew Ali. So I put it in a rap to a mad production. So while your head bobbing, you can start to learning something. Of great importance, there's so much to learn. Rewind and track and soak it in, knowledge is born.
Better know who you are. Discover the truth. 'Cause the truth don't change.
Salutations, people. You better know who you are. Discover the truth. The truth don't change. It remains the same. Yeah, brother Kendrick L with the 7 Signs. That's the CD that's out right now. He gonna ready to hit y'all in the head with a new one. I was supposed to show y'all a video today. I dropped the ball on that one. I supposed to took care of some business and I didn't. So I apologize. Let it be known that there is a video that is forthcoming. Brother Kendrick L, Return of the Moors. So y'all can get ready to start seeing that here on the Think Tank Show. All praise due to Allah for that. Well, people, this week has been an interesting week for me. I got a lot to share with y'all, but the thing that is most frustrating about the things that I have to share is that once again it involves women and children, or a woman and a child. And anytime somebody travel from state to state to try to relocate and they entrust people to give them housing and things like that, because we do that in the Moorish community, we do it in the conscious community, we do it in religious organizations. You got people that want to relocate from another state to come be with a particular group, whether it be the Catholics, the Jews, the Protestants, the Moors, the Islamic groups, whether it be the Islamic Center, the Nation of Islam. And when I said the Moors, that is also Islamic sector as well, because our religion is Islamism, those of us who are members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But the issue that I have is I had a young lady that over the week was in a bad type of situation. And she had just traveled from another state to this state. And in the process of traveling to this state, she got caught in a unfortunate situation where she had to relocate right here in this state, and she had to receive some help. And the reason why it sounds like I may be tiptoeing around the topic is because at this particular juncture, as far as I know, the young lady is still in refuge. She's still receiving shelter and protection. So I don't want to talk much about it at this particular juncture. But know this, that I was happy to be able to help a sister and her baby get out of a situation that she wasn't comfortable with, and to receive shelter and help this week. And the subordinate temple that I'm the Grand Sheik of, we're not a huge temple, as most know. We're relatively small, and we don't have the finance that's needed in order for us to support in this particular type of endeavor on a massive scale. And we didn't have the finances really to support the sister in this particular instance, but for somehow, some way, I really seen a miracle perform right before me, because we didn't know what we was gonna do with her. It was like at home, we got a small area, we don't have room, and everywhere we was turning, it was like people living with their grandmother and their uncles and their mother, and they got 4 children. It just was a mess. And the sister had to sleep overnight on a couch somewhere else to receive shelter for that night. And lo and behold, the next day, as we calling around shelter to shelter to shelter to shelter, and everybody was saying the same thing: no room, no room, no room, or there's a waiting list. And it was like, this is a woman who is been in not one but 2 domestic situations in 2 different states, and she was just basically just trying to seek refuge until she can get home with the plane ticket that was bought with the money they had at the particular time, and that particular plane ticket won't allow them to leave until a certain particular day. I didn't know that that happens like that, but I'm learning as I go along. And I can remember me saying certain things about battered women and their children, how I would like to help out in those particular arenas while I was incarcerated. And in some cases, I wanted to not only help out, but even maybe punch the batterer in the nose or two. And when it came my way, it was like I was threw off. I had got a phone call from one of the members of my temple, and she was telling me the situation, and she asked me what do I think she should do. And my response was, well, what is it that you want to do? And she said she wanted to go get her. And she had to travel all the way from Pontiac, Michigan to come all the way down to Detroit and get the sister. And it just so happened at that particular juncture I was in school, so I couldn't move like I wanted to move because I was in the middle of an exam, a quiz. And she got the sister, and it was some rigmarole behind that. But once she got the sister, it was like, okay, we have her now. What do we do? I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared that one day that I may be able to give refuge or sanctuary to someone from another state that is running around with a 1-year-old child. And I'm not patting myself on the back because I don't believe I deserve that, but I do understand that if you just obey that small, still voice and just make the move, the rest would just come. You have to do the work. Yes, we was making the phone calls, we was networking, we was telling everybody that we thought that we can trust to tell, short of saying her name and the child's name and all that other type of information. That was people on the grassroots level. And it just popped up out of nowhere that there was a hotel room available for her and her child with a bed, refrigerator, stove, microwave, TV, etc. And she was going to be with another young lady who was waiting for transition from one shelter to go into Section 8 housing. And that's how we was able to give her refuge. And it happened like literally just fell in our lap, and wasn't looking for it, wasn't planning for it. That wasn't even on the agenda to even put her in a hotel room for some days. And it just happened. So I do know that miracles happen and that the Creator is real. And when you think there's no help or no hope, that's when things begin to turn over. And I was experienced with that today. I would like to have all of my sisters get the 3 shot up if I can, brother engineer, because we're basically dialoguing, and I need the people to be able to feel the response of the sisters that's here and see what's going on. But what's important for us to understand is that I think the 3 most important people that we need to cherish on this planet and protect and do everything that we can to support them. And I'm not a brother that has always stood on this. This is something that I've been embedded with through the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America over the years that I've been practicing in the ways of the Moorish Science Temple of America and or being a member of the temple. And what I learned is that you have to have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. And if you want to see omnipotence displayed before you, all you have to do is treat the woman right. All you have to do is step up to the plate to protect her, to feed her and the children and things like that. And so a brother was got in contact with me from another state and was like, well, I'm gonna send you some money. I appreciate. And I wanted it to be clear. I wanted this to be clear that I ain't no dummy, and I ain't the type of person that really likes to turn down money. So don't think that I'm trying to be funny style, but I didn't do it for the money. I'm not looking for you to give me anything. I didn't do this for any type of payment back or nothing like that. I did it from the bottom of my heart, and the temple did it from the bottom of their heart. Now, if you send something, fine. If you don't, fine, because it had to be done. Well, the money was basically, and I told him, I said, if you want to send anything, you need to send something to them. You need to send it to the mother and the child, which
Right.
he assured me that that was forthcoming as well. And I was content with that. I said, well, you could take that extra money and do that as well. And, I receive my reward from Allah. I wait on that payment because I know the payment that I'm going to receive coming from Allah is something that He could never give me. You can't repay me. You can't pay me on the scale that the Creator is going to pay me. So I'll take that payment over your payment. But at the same token, if you want to send it on your own, I'm not stopping you, but I would advise you to send it to the sister and the baby because they need it until they can get up out of here or get into a program where they can, be put in the position where they can live on their own. But the thing that was baffling to me is that the sister was in another state and she was in a relationship and it became abusive. So she was trying to get out of that state and to get back on the other side of the country. But she didn't have enough money to get a plane ticket to take her all the way back home. But she had enough to get her up out of the state that she was in, that she was in a bad type of situation. So another person from another religious organization offered to assist and give shelter. And when the sister got there, it was about sex. It was about that type of stuff. It wasn't about, shelter. It wasn't about, it was about,
Taking advantage of
yeah,
somebody
let's
who's
get,
vulnerable.
yeah, let's get into a relationship. You out here, you under my roof, you eating, out of my house, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get into a relationship. Let's talk. You want to smoke, that type of stuff.
Wow.
Right.
And the woman
Terrible.
expressed that that wasn't her intention. She thought that she was actually, because she was relocating from that state, because the state she was in, because she was looking for something better for her and her child.
She's in a state of crisis.
So
Right.
she
And he
came
wanted
here
to take advantage of that.
so that she can either figure out what can she do to get money to get back home, or would this be a prime location for her to relocate from a situation that she was in. And come to find out, she went from out of one frying pan into another.
Into the fire.
And the brother reached out to one of my members on Facebook and said that the sister was in distress and she needed help. And the sister, she was more so like, okay, well, she got in contact with her. She was like, okay, do you need me to send you some money? She was like, no, I need somebody to come get me. I don't need money. I need to be gone. I need out of here. I have a plane ticket to get back home Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. I just need out of here. Please get me out of here.
Right.
So when she told me that and asked me what I think, I just basically told her, I said, sister, it's basically on you. But what hurt me the most is the person that did this. I know that guy.
It's always like that.
I know him
I
personally.
experience it sometimes.
And he know better. He knows it better. I can see if you was a teenager or you 20 years old. It's no excuse, no matter how old you are, when you
Sometimes
do it.
that's how it is, brother. Brother don't want to assist the sister when she really needs assistance unless it's something he can get in return.
Right.
And everybody is not into that. When you're in distress and you're going through a crisis, that is not what you're on your mind. That is not what you're looking for. You're trying to regroup, rebuild, and sex with a stranger,
Right.
that's like selling yourself, and you're trying to get away from being misused and abused, and that's walking right back into an abusive situation, being misused.
And I want you to meet her tonight. You're going to meet her. If we got a location that we're going to be at that no one is going to know about, and you'll be able to meet her tonight. And I want you to really get a chance to meet this young woman and she's extremely intelligent. Most people would think that she got to be a dummy, she dizzy, blah blah blah, and you would think from a stereotypical outlook of the scenario that this got to be a dingbat, that this got to be an idiot, and this is probably one of the most
It
intelligent
takes-
women that I've met.
It takes a strong woman to leave an abusive situation. I've been in abusive situations. And you have to plan and get quiet and comprehend when you're going to escape so you can have your life and you're protecting your children or your child. And it's not easy. I have friends, I know people right now in abusive situations. And I pray that they make an attempt, at least make an attempt to escape.
I had some excuse me, I had some plans with the finances that I had for my personal self that I wanted to do, some things that I needed for the winter, etc. You got to plan about your money.
Right.
And when this thing came about, it was like either I get a chance to continue to do what I've been planning to do, or do I, help out over here. And over the last couple days, I've came out a pretty penny to make this happen. And what I realize is that what I passed up materialistically to receive for myself that I can have, it's more rewarding. I feel a lot more. It's like I can't describe the feeling because I've always said that I want to repay my debt to society. I want to make a difference. I want to do something. And they don't know who this person is. I'm not receiving any recognition for this. But the reason why I'm sharing it because it feels good. It feels better to do something positive and help another human being than it does to do something negative and take away from another human being. It's more rewarding within your spirit, and that's priceless. And the feeling of being human or treating somebody like a human being is something that I wish that I've done for years or years ago, because it's a high like no other, and I done been plenty of high before, and that adrenaline, that feeling, that tingleness inside, that you actually can see this person, look that person in the eye, and you can see the difference from the first time they met you, like apprehensible, what am I walking into? Is
Right.
this getting ready? And you can see the, like,
Oh,
what do you
that's
mean? I don't
cool.
know you. You
Yeah.
taking me somewhere? Where are you taking me?
Right.
But for her to see righteous women, with the head wraps on, their turbans or the head pieces, and they see that this is a family of people who is actually living the Islamic creed to the best of their ability and don't have any hidden agenda and don't want anything from her other than to make sure that she's safe,
Right.
make sure that she's fed, to make sure she's dry, to make sure she's not cold. Those were the things that I was concerned about, because the very next day it been raining ever since.
Right.
Where is this woman gonna go? She can't even
Right.
get in a shelter. So you say this woman and this child would have been out in the street, and not only was they calling shelters, they actually went to shelters and they turned them away. And it's like, like, what is the purpose of these shelters if
Yeah.
you're gonna turn somebody away? I don't care if you have to put them, on the floor and
Yeah.
and make a pallet,
Right.
or something
Shelters
like
are
that.
Band-Aids.
So yeah,
Right.
But the thing that was
And this is the county they send you to. Oakland County.
we went to Oakland,
It's the
Wayne.
county they send you to when there's nowhere else to go in United States of America. That's why I was in shock when you said you couldn't find anything, because Oakland County is where they send you when there is nowhere else
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, maybe it was the week, maybe it was because of the weather. I don't know what the situation was. Maybe Allah just didn't want it to go that way. He wanted it to go this way. It could have been that.
Yeah, maybe a shelter wasn't for her, and for
Maybe
her-
the shelter
her
wasn't for her
situation.
and her situation, and maybe Allah just wanted me and our temple to experience this philanthropist deed that we did, and it's not like we getting paid for it and we're not gonna, get anything from anybody, or we're not looking for anything from anybody for
Right.
it, So, and the members feel good that they was able to do. The human life is precious.
Yes.
2 human lives. I'm talking about a baby and a mother. So we was able to preserve 2 human lives.
They could have
You
ended
know,
up in any
that could have
situation.
ended up in any situation. She could have been raped. She could have been murdered. We don't know what the situation could have been, but thankfully she was smart enough to let people know where she was at, her address, who she was with, the location. So it was a type of situation, where he didn't have a choice but to turn her over. And especially when you know that there's other guys that's out here that know you, bro,
Right, we
and
know who
this is
you
what
are.
the situation is.
Hmm.
Cut her loose. But when you get to throwing her bags and all this other type of stuff out the door, and because she had a book, you want to claim her, accuse her of stealing. She been reading the book for the while since she been there. You want to, I ain't giving you no more of your clothes, and I ain't giving you no more of your property till you cough up my book, and blah blah blah. And it was a mess, and
Wow.
yeah, and it was petty. And the sad part about it, when I eventually unfold what I need to unfold to you,
Mm.
you're gonna be baffled, behind, the who, what, when, and where, and how. And so my whole thing is, the reason I brought that out is because, or the reason why I'm talking about this is because I need for our people to understand that when you see someone in a crisis, or you see somebody that's in a, a, a vulnerable state, don't take advantage of them,
Right.
because when you take advantage of it, eh, the price is heavy on your end. You have to pay that price, because your main concern should be either helping that person or not helping the person.
Right.
If you didn't want to help the person, no strings attached, no hidden agendas, none of that, then certain things should not have ever been the topic, like sex. So these are the things that, and I would never, I can't say never, but this brother has a whole nother outlook from me, because he knows better. And when you know better, you got to do better. Now we all make mistakes. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not even in the realm of knowing better.
Right.
There is still room for error.
I don't know. Is that a mistake? It sounds like you're
But
talking
that
about someone
wasn't
who
no
has set
mistake.
out to take advantage of someone who was in the most vulnerable position
Exactly.
with a child, which makes you even more vulnerable.
Exactly.
So I don't understand that. But what strikes me is you talked about how you set the intention a long time ago that you wanted to help women in just this kind of situation. That's what you wanted to do. You already had that in your mind. So when the opportunity came, you were ready. Whether you felt like you were financially ready or not, it'll come together. It'll happen. But the point is that you were open to do that. And you saw the situation with the shelter. In traditional cultures, there were no words for orphanage or old folks' homes. There were no facilities like that
Right.
because our culture was we were set up to to take care of our people, no matter who they were, children, elders, women, everybody in between. We were set up for that, and we thought that way. But the way that we're infected now, we only think in terms, unfortunately, of how can I gain advantage from this situation,
Or benefit from
or
it.
yeah, how can exactly benefit from the situation, or oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it because it would be too much of an inconvenience because we don't even think that way. We
Right.
don't think of the eh, of oh, we have an extra couch, we can make it happen.
Right.
Anybody could have made it
And I'm
happen.
talking about everybody was on it. Mama Nandi was on the case, trying to find a spot. She was coming up empty. We was on it. When I'm talking about banging down this state, we was banging down the state. The phones was ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
And
That's awkward.
how it happened, how we got her room and board, and it just happened. I'm talking about,
Just you weren't even looking in that direction.
wasn't even looking, wasn't even thinking, and the phone rung, and we was like, well, look, this is getting ready to happen. The sister got a voucher for a room, blah blah blah. It's a 2-bedroom. She gonna be blah blah blah.
Praise
She can
Allah.
stay with her until she's able to either get in a shelter or make it back home. So she has an option. If she want to get in a shelter, get help, and stay here as relocation and to help get on her feet, then we get in a shelter to help do that. If she want to go back home and just get a breather off the experience that she experienced, then she can go do that. It's whatever choice. But And all in all, what I've seen, what I've realized is that our sisters, man, is some of the strongest, if not the strongest human beings on this planet.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at this woman has a baby. She has a 1 year old child that she's toting with her while she's going from one state to be in a relationship. It became abusive and she had to run to another state as close as she can get to home until she's able to make the next transition home or decide that she want to stay here because she wanted to leave home and she didn't want to go back. And you know how when people set out to do certain things, they don't want to come back as a failure.
Yeah.
That pride situation is there. Like, I'm gone.
Right.
I'm about to go to such and such and such. So I'm finna start my life and I'm finna do blah, blah, blah. And then when you get there, things go awry. And it's like you really don't want to call nobody because they already telling you, you shouldn't leave, blah, blah, blah. This ain't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And now you got to bite your pride and you really don't want to go back. So I can come to another state. They going to help me. I can still do the same thing. But in this state, you know, what's the difference between Baltimore and Detroit, you know, or
Right.
what's the difference of Philadelphia and Detroit or, you know, whatever, you know, so I can do it there. I just need a fresh start from whatever she had going on there. So to come back so soon, you know, the pride level is there, you know, so it's like, I'm going to go to Detroit and I'm going to mess with these people because these my brothers and my sisters and I can still get it done. And then it's another trap, identical to the trap that she left before, you know, only different. And then the sad part about it is a woman involved. It's a woman that's involved that was a part of, come on, you know, but when she get there, it's, you know, wow, it was.
Sometimes you can't run from your problems. You end up running straight to them. I've tried to leave the state of Michigan. Michigan does not want to let me go.
Right, right. Well, you know, we have to give praises to Allah for that. I know this might not be what you want to hear, but if Michigan wouldn't let you go, we wouldn't have a Maximum Cook Bay right now today on the Think Tank Show. So thumbs up to the universe for not letting her go.
You share that Michigan vibration. So
Yeah, yeah.
you'll
But
always
she
be
got
back.
that shot
You
town.
can travel. You can travel when
She
you
got
want
shot
to.
town on
right,
one
travel.
shoulder. She got shot town on one shoulder and Detroit, Pontiac, Michigan on the other.
It's a lot of work needs to be done right here in the state of Michigan. That is exactly why.
But we need to focus
And we need to
on
work
that.
on
Hold
it.
on, we got a caller. We're gonna take this call. Caller, you on the air with the Think Tank Show. State your name and what city you calling from. Caller, we talking to you.
Islam.
Caller, you on the air live with the Think Tank Show. Please state your name and what city you calling from. Can you hear me?
This is Guy.
Sky?
We're calling from Oakland, California.
Oh, how you doing, Sky?
Live.
Can you hear me?
Sure. What time did you say I was supposed to come on there?
You're on the air right now.
Excuse me?
Hello?
Who is this?
Air right now.
Yeah, I realize that. Who's interviewing me?
Who's interviewing you? Who are you?
I don't hear a word.
So you're on the air with the
Okay,
Think Tank
bye.
Show.
You trying to be interviewed, brother?
What show were you calling into?
I think we lost them.
Call back if you may have made this mistake
You've
though.
been the
But
wrong
anybody, matter of fact, we're gonna
So-
pull the call in line number up on the screen. So any of y'all out there that want to chime in on this topic, that want to call in, if you've been listening to what we're talking about, people taking advantage of people when they're in a dire situation, when they're in distress and they need help, and they give the face of an angel, but it's really the devil, you know, with an angel's face.
Wolf in sheep's
And
clothing.
you know, so we're talking about that right there. Like, you know, when you really want to help somebody, you know, help somebody. But if
Right.
you don't want to help and you're not setting out to help somebody,
Then back
fall
off.
back.
Yeah.
Don't. If you can't do it, you can't do it.
Mhm.
You know, because you're doing more harm to yourself.
Right.
You know, and everybody that's involved indirectly, because it definitely could have turned into something ugly. It was already something ugly. You just want to put the ER on the end of ugly in this
Right.
particular instance.
I want to come back to why is it that you were not interested or weren't comfortable with accepting support from Who was the brother who wanted to send you money?
I'm not gonna mention any names
Oh, I don't mean the
right
name,
now.
but
I don't want to. I'm not gonna
it was
mention.
just someone who knew about the situation.
Well, he actually was the one who called my sister and
Okay.
told her that we have somebody that need help.
Oh, he notified you.
Yeah,
Okay.
would you please get in contact with
Now-
her because she's in your state,
Okay.
and we know you to be of the same organization that we are of,
Mhm.
and we just reaching out to people to see if we can get her some help right quick.
Mhm.
And the sister answered the call. They're all in the same group together as well. So they're in a Facebook group together. It's a small Facebook group,
Okay.
but they're in a group together. So they all acquainted Facebook wise is concerned and that type of thing. So this is how he had the inkling to get in contact with her because of the state that she
So
was in.
you were uncomfortable with accepting support from him because.
Well, when he offered it, I wanted him to be clear. I just wanted him to be clear. I don't want it to be misconstrued that this is about give me back. What can you give me back? It's not about what you can give me back. It's not about what you can do for me. It's
You're
about
not.
her
You're
right
not the
now.
opportunist.
Right.
You don't want
It's
to be.
about her. It's about her and this baby. If you have any extra money that you want to send, don't send it to me. Make sure she's good because she still has to travel.
Right.
She has to eat. She has to do a lot of different things,
Right.
and it costs money. You know, just in my expedition alone, riding around the state within the last couple days, I done had to put $100 in the tank. You know, because the expedition and don't play on no gas.
Yeah.
Right. And
So-
we need that good karma.
You know,
So
and
we're gonna
so, yeah.
we're definitely gonna do all positive things and make sure we uplift the sister.
Right, because that's what was important.
Right.
You know, and this was one of the reasons why I was asking you to come to this event that we're going to have tonight after the meeting period. You know, so you can meet the sister because we have
All is
something
well.
special for her. And I don't really like it's about her right now.
Right.
It's about making sure she's comfortable, making sure because you can tell when a person is uptight, you can tell when a person is tense.
Yes.
You can look them in their eyes and you can tell. And especially I've developed a sense of being able to sense certain things out and just feel fear, anxiety,
Yeah.
anger. You know, I can walk in a room and I can pick up on the vibe because of the environments that I come up in. If you didn't know how to tap off into that, that could be the end of you. So you had to have those particular senses
Yeah.
to be able to walk in a room and sniff out something ain't right.
That's what we call our sixth sense.
Exactly. So and I knew it and I seen it, you know, and I'm like, I'm the real deal, sister. I'm your brother. I'm the real deal. You know, this is my information, blah blah blah. This is where I'm from. This is my phone number. This is my wife's name, blah blah blah. You know, I'm here for nothing but to help you. And the sister is beautiful. You know, she's intelligent. She's not, you know, dirty. She's clean. She, you know, and she just
Need some
made a
assistance.
call. She made a call, and in the call and the decision that she made, some things went haywire. It very well could have happened to her at home. So I'm not gonna say because she went to another state and was going to be in a relationship with somebody that's the reason why it happened.
Right.
I'm not, you know, putting that out there because it wasn't like, you know, she was in a situation where she was dating somebody online. Nobody knew about this person, and she just up one day and decided to go to New York City to be with this guy that she really don't know. She did her homework as far as making sure people knew where she was at, what location she was going to, etc. And even in that state, she had put some money down as a down payment on a house, and she had to walk away from that. You know, and that was a pretty penny.
Right. It's
because,
not
you
that
know,
she was being reckless.
right.
She's a responsible woman.
Exactly. You know, so she put, you know, the first month, last month, security deposit, all that stuff down, and just had to walk away. Just had to take a loss, you know, on
For her safety.
you know, for her safety.
And
She had to
securing her child.
yep, and she left things behind, but she had to go. And
And that makes her highly intelligent.
and it got her to a situation where she thought she was safe. She just wasn't in the right house.
Right.
She was in the right state.
She was almost there.
She just wasn't in the right house. And Allah made it clear that this is the state I want you to be in, but these ain't the people I want you to be around. Got a call. Caller, you on the air with the Think Tank Show. Please state your name and what state you calling from.
I'm calling from Pontiac, Michigan,
Islam.
Islam, and my name is Salome Bay,
Oh, we know who this is.
temple number 13,
Islam.
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 And I would like to read a short chapter from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, page 35, chapter 25, pertaining to the happening of the sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Should I
Islam.
start now?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Please do.
It's called A Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. It says, page 35, chapter 25, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Says, ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given ye suck. The breast of one mother. And that's for all of us. It says, let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that binded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.
Peace. Thank you. We
Peace.
really
Love and
appreciate that.
peace.
We doing something special for this particular survivor tonight, and we want to borrow Sister Cook Bay. I've been trying to keep this under wraps because in a situation like this, what I've learned is that when you're protecting and you're giving shelter to a battered woman and their child, that security is the first order of the day. And you have to make sure that they're secure and there's no one that's out there trying to harm her or that particular baby. You know, so in a situation like that, this is the reason why it's been kind of hush-hush. Even though Amexem, she knew about it, and she gave up some information that she just knew was going to be there. And it has nothing to do with her. But, you know, we're going to borrow tonight because we're having a prayer situation, and we're definitely going to be supporting the sister. We're going to be wrapping our arms around her and showing our love to her and her child tonight, and let her know that the Moorish community is huge, and I don't care what state you go to, you're going to be able to find a Moor.
Praise Allah.
You know, so we appreciate you calling in, Sister Salome, babe.
Thank you for the beautiful chapter from the Holy Quran that you read.
I understand, brother.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
is well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace.
Peace.
Love and peace.
And then it's another thing about doing what is performing my duty, what's expected of me, what's required of me. This is what I signed up for. This is my job. This is the business that we in. We're in the business of uplifting fallen humanity.
Right.
When I became a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I didn't come part of the Moorish Science Temple of America because I needed protection from human beings. I joined the temple because I needed protection from myself.
Do the work.
You know,
do the work.
I need, to be protected from me. Me, I'm my worst enemy. You know, I really ain't running around looking for the blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. I'm looking for the devil within first.
Right.
You know, I know where the blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil is at. You know, so I already know. I'm just talking about the one that he come from, and that's myself, because that is a manifestation of my lower self. It's a shadow of my lower self. I created that. So I got to know that if I want to fear a devil, or I need to be vigilant of a devil, it's the devil within me. I got to kill the devil within me first in order for me to be the God man that Jesus came to illustrate what the God man and woman look like. You know, he was the living example of who we need to be unfolding unto, and this is what we must do as human beings. And the only savior of the world is love, and I understand it. It's so powerful. It's like no other weapon. You know, you can't lose or go wrong with love. You have people who has lost their physical life loving, that got some people that then lay their life down on the line trying to save another person's
Right.
life out of love.
Yeah. Or the community, whatever.
But so the reward of that person doing that, it may not be rewarding to that person from the finite understanding, but from an infinite perspective of it, we understand that this particular person is not dead. This particular person used his or her life for what it was intended for others, because our life is not of our own.
Right.
Our life is preserved because based on what we can do to contribute to the contribution of developing this society in a better civilized society, in a civilized world. The Creator is not selfish.
Right.
He is merciful, forgiving, loving. And the Creator wouldn't give us this physical life just to be giving it to it. This is not just by chance. So I may not receive the reward or the benefit from what has happened, but my grandchildren may. My granddaughter or my grandson may be in the same predicament 20 years from now. And because of what I did or I was a part of doing, my grandbaby is going to reap the benefits of it. So it's still money in the bank.
Yeah.
You follow me? Right. So a lot of times, and that also goes for the sins.
Right.
The sins of the father is bestowed upon the children. A lot of times our children are suffering because of the things that we did in life. And arguably people can say because of our evil thoughts, our deeds, and creating a particular living thing that was able to shadow or to mirror this particular lower self of us is the reason why we suffer chattel slavery. It's the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America goes that every nation suffers slavery due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. You stray at the gods and cultures and creeds of people that you know nothing about, and that's not of your people.
Right.
And once you do that, you have become enslaved to their creed and their culture, and you're not honoring your mother and your father.
Right.
You're honoring their mother and their father. So that their days can be long, but your days ain't long because you shorten your days from a culture perspective, because when you're not practicing the culture and the creed and principles of our ancient forefathers, they're not living.
Exactly. While you're honoring somebody else's.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm not against anyone who put up Christmas trees or celebrate Thanksgiving and celebrate Easter and those particular things. I'm not going to badger you. I'm not going to talk bad on you because I know how we received this culture. I know how we received those celebrations. It was through chattel slavery.
Right.
I know how we received Christianity. It was through chattel slavery.
Right. They didn't just come up with it on their own. It's
Right.
like, oh, you invented this horrible holiday.
Exactly. So
Right.
Smith, Brown, Sutton, Cook, I know how we got these names through slavery.
Right.
So I understand it's something that's deeply embedded in us. But the thing that we really have to overcome is the Willie Lynch. And even though I don't subscribe to the black connotation or of identifying myself from a nationality perspective and or African American or any of that, but I will talk the language in order for understanding so that we can communicate. And these are
Communicate to the ignorant.
Yeah, but
Communicate to the wise.
so when I tell people all the time that we must do something to convince other people that Black Lives Matter before we can get anybody else to believe or accept that Black Lives Matter, we have to illustrate that amongst ourselves. We have to stop killing our people. We have to stop raping our women. We have to stop abusing our children and our elderly people. We have to police our own communities. We have to do that ourselves in order for people to understand that our lives actually matter. And the best example is that because we care about ourselves. It's kind of, it's like, it's an oxymoron within itself. And I'm standing up there on the street corner and I'm saying Black Lives Matter, but I'm getting ready to shoot a brother.
Right.
Because he said something that I didn't like, or he was looking at my wife in a certain kind of way, and she was dressed in skimpy clothes and things that draw that type of attention. So now I want to shoot him because he disrespected my wife by eyeballing her. You know, my wife ain't had no business wearing, you know, certain things that I know is going to draw the eye of a man, because sometimes sisters be walking and I turn, I be like, Lord, I just can't believe I just seen that. You know, and I look again, you know, and be like, okay, but I won't look too many times, because a lot of times I be around my wife, and I'm telling you, she heavy-handed, so I don't want no trouble. Like,
You got to know the difference between right and wrong.
right,
Let your good outweigh your bad.
right. So
And know the difference between your higher self and lower self. You have to know, because
Exactly.
just because you think you in your higher self, you might not be.
right,
You have to go through self-examinations. Check yourself. They make rap songs. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
yeah. I mean, it's been hectic. It's been a hectic week. It's a lot of people that I haven't talked to on the phone, people that I normally talk to on a daily basis. I've been shuttling. I've been moving people around. I've been moving bodies. I've been working this week from a philanthropist perspective. I've been working. I've been spending my own time, my own money to help somebody else be able to. And so now I can, you know, it can't be measured with the Underground Railroad, so to speak, as far as with Harriet Tubman and all of the beautiful people that contributed to the Underground Railroad. I'm not even trying to compare myself to that, but I can only imagine how they felt getting another brother or sister to safety, getting that brother or sister to freedom, because the feeling itself is so rewarding. The fact that you know that, and I'm looking at myself like, boy, you doing relatively well.
Right.
You got a long way to go. You got a lot more to do, but that's a start. And this is what I want to feel, you know, to be able to sit down after helping somebody and drink a cold glass of apple juice, or, you know, and sit up and watch TV and smile like, yeah, I got them, devil, and you don't know where they at. You know, because that's how I view the person that did that.
Yeah.
You know, that's the devil. And it definitely ain't blonde-haired, and he ain't blue-eyed.
But becoming upright, independent, and fearless is sometimes you suffer.
Yeah.
Just because you want the truth, you need the truth, you feel the truth, and you're going to stand for the truth no matter what. Sometimes you hurt yourself because of the truth.
That's a fact. That's a
But
fact.
in the end, guess what happens? You get a good night's rest.
You get a good night rest.
Because if you fake telling lies, you don't get good rest at night.
Yeah.
So it's better to get it out in the front, immediately take care of it, nip it in the bud. Do not let it destroy you, because it will.
Yeah.
And it's better to stand for the truth
You
than
gotta stand for
falsehood.
it. You have to stand for the truth, and then the and it's not easy, especially coming from where I come from. I got another example, and this was weird to me. Early in the morning, it was like maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got woke up. Babe. I'm like, what? I hear some lady out there screaming, talking about call the police. Somebody call 911. I heard it twice. I was like, so she was like, should I call the police? I'm like, yeah, call the police.
Right.
So she called the police, and the police came out, and, you know, lo and behold, sister was in a domestic situation, and it just happened after the clown killed the 4 babies and shot and slit the throat of his wife.
Oh, God.
And it happened in the same, you know, week.
Oh, God.
You know, so that within itself was like, okay, this is what being a citizen about. I'm doing something that I've never done before. I've never been a citizen
Somebody
of our
called
community.
out for assistance.
Somebody
and-
called out for help. That's
Yes.
not snitching.
Right.
Somebody, that could have been my mama. That
Right.
could have been my sister. That could have been my daughter out there in the middle of the night screaming, somebody call the police, and I could be standing up there scratching my head talking about, should I call the police? Yeah. Is that snitching? No.
You
How
saved
is that?
someone's life.
Yeah.
Every life is important.
How is that snitching when somebody is deliberately letting you know that they in distress, they need help, please call the police.
Specifically, but
3 o'clock in the morning.
there's still this hesitation to
And
whether
it's
or not it's appropriate to get involved.
right, because we in this culture of no snitching, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what not snitching is. Me being a snitch is, this is what snitching is for me. Us three, we go rob a bank.
All
I'm
of
the
us.
only one. Us three, we all go rob a bank, but I'm the only one get caught. And typically, that's probably what happened with us three, because the women are smarter than men, so y'all would be able to get away. My
It's
dumb
true.
butt probably be the one to get caught anyway.
Yeah.
But me telling on y'all, that's snitching.
Because you got caught.
Because I got caught. That's snitching.
That's snitching.
Now snitches get stitches. Now I understand that. You know, we all we going in this together. You get caught, keep your mouth closed. Why, when I get caught, I'm finna tell on y'all? That don't make sense.
Just because you got caught.
That's snitching.
That's a snitch.
But if you hearing or you watching a woman getting snatched in the alley and you get on your cell phone and you dial 911, you say, I see a woman getting snatched in the alley, that's not snitching.
Because who is your
Saving.
loyalty supposed to be to?
Yeah.
You're saving somebody's life.
And I've never been able to understand how you equate that to snitching. It's not. It's not the same thing. That's not the code we live by. If I see you doing something to a woman, now 20-something years ago, before I was a convicted felon and I was living today, I probably would intervene, because I would have a CCW and all this other stuff, and I can get involved. But by me being a convicted felon today, I know I really can't get involved, because when the police come and if it's some violence or something involved and my hands was a part of it, I know I'm going to jail. So I know unless they coming in my house or they violating my person, then or it's my wife or my children or something like that, under certain circumstances I probably would get involved, whether it's my children or my wife or not. I'm not just about to stand there and watch no man just be bluntly just beating no woman and just
Right.
be like, come on, let's go. I ain't finna be no snitch.
Right.
That's not how that go. You know,
Right.
that's not what this is about.
And that's not what a snitch is.
And people don't understand what
But
the
when
more
you-
science temple of
sometimes
America
when
is
you
about.
stand up for the victim, the person is actually afraid of men or the hero. It's okay for them to beat on a woman and harm a woman, but when another man steps in, they're scared of the hero or the one that's coming to save the woman. And it's like, you're a big old burly guy, you hurting this little woman,
They
but
wanna
when a
deal with
man
somebody
confronts
smaller.
you,
Yeah.
right? But you know it's another word for it, but we're not gonna say
It rhymes with snitch.
Right. It rhymes with snitch. It's just only a couple of alphabets in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, coming up this October, which it almost is a
Yeah.
book signing event at Nani's Knowledge Cafe for the book Overcoming Emotional Cancer.
That's right.
We have had some really wonderful discussions with Sister Carla Gunter, and I see we have a call. Greetings, you're on with the Think Tank Show.
Live in solid color, Islam, brothers and sisters. How you doing,
Hey, brother,
kings and
Islam.
queens?
Islam.
Peace.
Yes, yes. I just want to call in and tell you, way to keep going, man. Way to do it. You see the eye to the tiger, man. Let it shine. Help the sisters, man, 'cause they be needing that just like the brothers do too. But that's what you're supposed to do. And Allah is looking upon you. Allah is around you. Allah gonna always be around you with the good state of mind, the upright state, the sense of where we come from. It's just how we do, man. The evil ones out here doing that, let them keep on doing. You know why? Because it's simple fact. Evil will destroy itself. Now, I'm going to leave it at that. And live and in color, Islam to my sisters and brothers. Move and groove, we show and improve. One, love.
All right,
Peace.
brother.
Islam.
Peace.
Praise Allah.
Ashe.
Like I always say, karma
Yeah.
and caveat emptor.
Yeah. It's.
And it
but
works.
It works, but it's like, you know, I'm going through my prayers. I'm doing my thing. You know, I'm going through it. I mean, I was up in that joker, you know, and when I come up out that mud, it was like, here. I'm like, okay.
You got to fight in the way of Allah.
How did that just happen? Like, what? Like, is you sit like, okay, like, all right, like, I understand now. Like, I understand what it's like to be walking with the staff. You know, I understand the parable of Moses and the staff. You know, and the parable of Moses and the staff and being able to put the staff in the water and part the sea so the ones can make it to refuge. I understand that a little bit better now. These the oil, teas, and compounds that's available, ain't it? Temple 13?
Yes. We have oils, teas, compound, and we've stated over and over the oils and the teas and the compound, especially the oil and the tea makes you very fertile. So make sure you keep your body right, all the ailments that come forth, Prophet Noble Drew Ali has sent us and brought us help to save us and protect our beautiful God bodies.
Yeah, that fertile situation. I know somebody who definitely don't need none, not for at least a little while. But I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't gonna none of that. But yeah.
And we got CDs from Brother Kendrick Hill. We're still
Oh, y'all selling the CDs too?
Yes, definitely.
So where can they get in contact with you to get some of this oil teas and compounds?
My phone number is 248-759-9834. That's 248-759-9834. And yes, you can call me, and we would definitely get you an order out, or we'll be at Nandi's tonight, so you might be able to get some tonight.
Oh yeah, those of you out there,
quick.
those of you out there who said y'all want to come down to Nandi's and get some, you know we got the meeting period of the Moorish Science Temple of America tonight, supporting the Temple Medina, but you know that this meeting period that we have is for the uniting Moors of America. Any Moorish American that want to practice in the ways of the Moorish Science Temple of America, not in no sovereign citizen, none of that, not that. That ain't what Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought. He brought the Moorish Science Temple of America. And this is what we teaching from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America and all the literature that the Prophet brought. Now, all that UCC and all that other stuff, you got to go somewhere else to go get that. Don't come looking for it from me, because that's not what we teaching. We're teaching things to make you better citizens instead of thinking you finna go out there and do some paperwork, and now that you can be a rogue, you can be a criminal, you could transport dope across the country and commit crimes, and all you can do is write it off. Man, do you know these people think they can commit a crime and just write it off because they talking about the person was a corporation?
The peace treaty?
Yeah, and they committed a crime against the corporation.
You
hurt a human being, man. What did you talk? That's sovereign stuff.
And another problem with that is that it negates your birthright.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're born, with these inalienable rights.
Yeah, whether it's the Constitution or
no
not.
matter what papers you sign or paperwork you do or
Nationality
money that you pay
is free,
or what group you're a part of. It's who you are.
Right.
You're an original human being.
Right.
You're the first one everywhere.
Right. So we got 2 minutes.
We're not selling
when
nationality
is the meeting period? What time?
Tonight, it's from 7 to 9 at Nandi's Knowledge Cafe, 12511 Woodward. We start from 7 to 9. You can come down there and get the oil teas and compounds. You can get the CDs. You can get some turbans. You can get some fez. Well, you can't get no fez, but you can get a lot of different things. Books.
We give you the information where to go get.
Definitely give
what
you
we
the
don't
information.
have.
But if you can't make it to the meeting period at Nandi's Knowledge Cafe, you got a temple on Grand River on the west side. You got a temple on the east side. What Temple 4 at on the east side?
On Harper.
You got Temple 4 on Harper on the east side off of McNichols. So
Flint, Mount Clemens.
And if you're in Flint, you're in Mount Clemens. You're in Pontiac. You got Temple 20 in Pontiac.
On Ferry.
You got Temple 43.
That's in Mount Clemens.
Mount Clemens on Entrance Street, or is that?
Yeah, I think that's. Is it Lipke?
Lipke, yep. And then you got the temple in Flint. So, I mean, it's temples everywhere. You don't have to necessarily come to me. Go what's convenient.
Right.
You don't have to come where we at. Go to what's convenient to get the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
right.
Teachings of Prophet Noble
And if
Drew
you're
Ali.
not in the state of Michigan, you can look it up. There's
Definitely.
temples all over United States of America.
Yep. And you may be able to find some meeting periods streaming live on the internet, because we're doing that now. But we wrapping it up. This was the Think Tank Show, y'all. Y'all was tuned into the best right here on TV 33 WHPR. Tune in to us next week, same place, same time, right here on TV 33 WHPR. We'll be joined with our sister Carla Gunter, the author of Overcoming Emotional Cancer, a couple days before her grand event. See y'all next week.